Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of HawksDIY. I'm Chuck, and in today's video, it's going to be part 4 of the LP style guitar build. And last week we got the guitar stained, so this week we need to get a protective finish on the guitar. So we're going to use Tru-Oil gunstock finish. So it should be interesting. Let's go have some fun. Hey, what you did? Are you recording? Hello? Alright guys and gals, well I made it into the man cave. And so last week, like I said, I got the guitar stained. And I like how everything worked out, so really happy with the results. But today we're going to put a protective finish on this guitar, and so let's dig in on that. Let me show you what I got. Alright, first of all guys, here she is, and so she's completely stained, and we're ready to put a protective finish on her. And today's focus is going to be on doing the front of the headstock and then the veneer top. So that's going to be the goal today. But you're going to need, I went to Home Depot and I got some of these HDX wiping cloths for staining and polishing. It's a 10-pack, and I've already tried it on a scrap piece of wood, and it works great. So then I've got a fresh bottle of Tru-Oil gunstock finish, and this is Birchwood Casey. And then I also have ultrafine hand sanding pad. This is a 2-pack, and it replaces double lot steel wool, 00 steel wool. And what's great about it is it doesn't leave debris behind when you're whatever you're steel wooling. It doesn't leave debris behind like steel wool will. Steel wool will also rust. So this stuff is really good for this application. This is what we'll be using instead of steel wool. And so like I said, I had another bottle of gunstock finish, Tru-Oil, and I had it left over for a previous project, so I was able to test it on a scrap piece of wood using these claws and using the sanding pad. So I got a good idea what we're up against here. But I'm going to put you up on the stand here, and we're going to get started. Like I said, we're going to work on getting the veneer top done today, and we're going to get the front of the headstock. And the reason for that is I can let that part of it dry, and then once it's dry I can turn the guitar over, and then we'll do a fresh coat on the back. So anyway, that's the plan, so let's get going. Alright guys and gals, I got the Tru-Oil. I got some poured out in this container. I got some of that cloth together, and we're going to start applying this. Now make sure that after you've stained like this, make sure I sanded it down with 1500 grit. And that really made it really smooth. But you want to make sure and do that before you start putting any finish on your guitar. So anyway, let's get going here. Alright, I got one coat on there, and I screwed up, guys. I should have taped off that binding because look at that. Look what happened. So I pulled some of that stain as I was applying the Tru-Oil, and it got that stain all over the binding. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that off. Obviously, you know, it is what it is, but it happens. So anyway, let me move on. I'm gonna go ahead and tape off that binding. I'm not gonna have that issue again. So anyway, you learn. Alright, guys. Well, I paid the stupid tax on that one, but I got the binding cleaned up, and won't do that again. I just didn't even think about the you know, the dye coming off on the rag. I just did not even think about that. But I got it off as best I could, and we're going to move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the headstock next. Alright, I got the headstock finished, and she turned out awesome. So I went ahead and put tape on there. I wasn't going to run into that problem again. So anyway, got one coat on the veneer top. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this dry, and then at least let it dry 24 hours. And the reason for that is I want it to seal it real good. You know, I want to make sure that this coat is really dry. So anyway, going forward, I'll have to tape the binding so that that doesn't happen again. And we should be all right. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow. All right, well, it's been 24 hours. And so let's take a look at her and see what we got. Alright, guys, here's the headstock, and she turned out awesome, and that's just with one coat. So I'm not worried about the headstock. It turned out awesome. So anyway, the veneer top is a different story though. It just soaked up all that Tru-Oil, and you can see how dry it still is. But it just soaked it up. So I think the plan is today we're going to tape this off with that frog tape and go ahead and apply another coat before we move on to the back. And so what we're going to need to do is mask it off with the frog tape, and also we're going to need to buff it down with this ultrafine sanding pad. That will remove bubbles, dust, and other blemishes before I apply the second coat. I just kind of felt like I needed to do this before I moved on. You know, with that second coat, I'll probably have less bleeding as far as the stain and as far as getting it on the binding. And so each application, it'll get a little bit better. But let's go ahead and do that, and whenever I get this coat put on here, I'll come back to you and show you what it looks like. It'll be wet, of course. It'll have to dry, but I'll come back and I'll show you that. Alright guys, so I got another coat put on, and you can see I got it taped off, but look at her shine now. Of course, like I said, it's wet, but I'm glad I did this. This will really be better before I go to the next stage. I'm glad I did this. So that's what she looks like. She looks good. And you can see where it's still shedding some of that dye. And if you look over there at the cloth that I use, it's still pulling off quite a bit. But it's not near as bad as it was. So I think each time I put a coat, it's going to get a little better each time. So that's where we're at. I'm going to let this dry for 24 hours. And then we'll move on. Hey, if you like this content, please consider visiting my Hawks Treasures eBay store. If you want to help the channel directly, this is a good way to do so. I have all kinds of categories listed. I have media, t-shirts, you name it. I'm an everything seller, home and garden, auto parts, toys and games, books. I sell a lot of different stuff, and you might find something cool out there. So yeah, go check it out. Well, she's dry, and so the second coat's dry, and you can see how the Tru-Oil is starting to stack up now. There's a lot less dry spots, so she didn't get drank up as much as that first coat. So we're going to get started today. I'm going to go ahead and buff it down with this ultrafine sanding pad, and I think I'm going to show you that process today because I haven't showed you that yet. And so we're going to get this buffed down, and we're going to get another coat applied today. I can't talk. Anyway, then I'm also going to come up here. I'm going to buff this down as well, and then put a second coat on the headstock. So that's the plan for today, so let's get going. Alright, so I got a couple pieces of this synthetic steel wool ready to go here, and we're just going to buff this down and sand it lightly to remove any bubbles in the Tru-Oil. It also removes any dust that may have gotten in the finish when you applied it, and it can also remove any kind of imperfections. So this stuff works great. I recommend this over steel wool because steel wool will actually leave debris behind, and you gotta really clean it off, and you risk getting it in the finish. Well, this stuff won't leave debris behind, so that's another reason. But when you're using this stuff, I'm going to start right in here first and kind of work my way down the guitar here. But when you use this stuff, when you start, you know, you're just going to lightly buff like that, and it will remove those areas. So anyway, I'm going to go down through here, and I'm going to lightly buff this thing and try to work out any of those areas that have issues. But that's really all there is to it. You'll feel it at first, and you'll be able to feel those spots, and eventually you'll feel that friction go away. When you feel that, that's when you just move on to the next spot. And that's kind of how it works. It's pretty simple, really. And it works great. You can hear it rubbing against that masking tape. But, yeah, you'll feel it. And then you know, you'll feel it all of a sudden just get smooth, and that's when you just move on to the next area. And that's all there is to it. And then whenever you're finished, make sure you go ahead and blow it off, you know, with like a aerosol can, compressed gas, or you could use an air compressor, you know, with the nozzle. And so that's what we're going to do here. And then today we're going to apply the third coat on the veneer top. And I kind of decided I just wanted to focus on the veneer top because, you know, this is what everybody's going to see. So this thing needs to be right. You know what I mean? So I'm going to focus my time on getting it right and do a good job, or do the best job I can anyway. We're going to do the same on the headstock today. We're going to buff it down as well. Put a coat of Tru-Oil on the headstock. That'll be the second coat on the headstock. So I just wanted to show you this because I hadn't showed it to you. But I'm just a real big fan of this synthetic steel wool for this, you know, for this application. It's just perfect for that, and it works awesome. So anyway, the plan is I'm going to get this buffed down, get another coat on the veneer top and the headstock, and then we'll have to let that dry, and then I'll come back to you whenever those coats are dry, and then we'll continue on. So we'll see you then. Well, the third coat has dried, and now we're getting somewhere. So there's still a few dry spots, but I almost got complete coverage on this coat. So pretty happy about that. There's a little dry area, I believe, right in here. And then there's also a dry area over here, right in here. So it turned out great though. I'm just going to need to get her rubbed down again with this sanding pad, and then we'll be ready to go. I'm really happy with it. Here's the headstock, and the headstock, it's awesome. It's just smooth. Turned out really good. So that's 2 coats. So I'll probably do at least one more coat there. And it's looking like, though, with the veneer top, it's looking to me like the next coat will actually give you complete coverage. Then the coat after that, you're going to do 5. On the 5th coat, that'll be the icing on the cake, is what I would like to call it. So that's what it looks like we're going to have to do to get this veneer top finished and to get the headstock finished. So I'm just going to continue to focus on that till I get it done, because I want this part to be absolutely as perfect as I can get it. Alright, 4th coat is dried, and we've got complete coverage now. So she looks pretty good. Now she's not perfect. I can tell up over here by the toggle switch that it's going to need, you know, another coat for sure up here. So she looks pretty good though. Pretty sharp. She's really shining now. So let me get this sanded back down, and we'll put the 5th coat on. I think I'm going to do something a little different, an idea I got. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll let you know if it works. Alright guys and gals, well, I started steel wooling the 4th coat down, and I'm going to have to call an audible on this one. I'm going to approach this a little different. So let me show you what I got planned. Alright, here's what we're going to do. So instead of using the 3M ultrafine sanding pad, which is a equivalent of double-aught steel wool, I'm going to now switch to steel wool. But this is a little bit finer grade. It's quadruple-aught, 4-aught, and so it's a little bit finer. The advantage of this is it will remove the scratches from the sanding pad. So that's the advantage of that. Now I'll just have to make sure and clean the guitar body off real good so that I don't have any of those debris left over that could potentially get in the finish. But then when it comes to applying the Tru-Oil, I decided to get away from using the cloth, and we're going to go to the foam brush. Okay, and I bought this pack, and it's got 4 2-inch brushes and 4 1-inch brushes. It's an 8-piece set, and we're going to give this a shot. And the reason for that is what's happening is whenever I go to apply the Tru-Oil to the veneer top, the cloth is picking up particulates and leaving it in the finish, leaving it behind in the finish. Then when it dries, you got these little pebbles, you know, little bumps, I guess you would say, in your finish. Well, then you got to go back with the steel wool and get them smoothed down and get them out of there. So what the foam brush will hopefully do is it won't leave particulates in the finish. So that's my thinking on it. We're going to try it, see how it works. I have a pretty good hunch that it's going to work pretty good. So let's give it a shot, and you know, what's it going to hurt? I know what the cloth's going to do, so I'll go ahead and test though on a scrap piece of lumber I have, and we'll see how it does. But I have a suspicion that this is going to work better. One good thing is this steel wool is going to really get this a lot smoother too. Alright guys and gals, I've got updates. So over the weekend I got 7 coats on the veneer top, and I got 3 coats on the headstock, and she looks great. So let's take a look at her. There she is. Man, she turned out awesome, guys. Now she's not perfect, but I tell you what, she's pretty darn near perfect. But we'll get into here in a minute. We'll get into what I had to go through to get to this point. But veneer top is done for now. I may come back in the end and do some touch-ups. The headstock, man, she's amazing too. So there she is. Let's take another glance at her here. And I just love it. I just love it. So my hunch was wrong. These foam brushes, they just didn't work out for me. They leave too many air pockets, and it wouldn't even cover the entire surface. So I had to just kind of move on from the foam brushes. And then the makeshift cloths I was using was 100% cotton, which the particulates I was talking about is actually the cotton that's causing it, because it's shedding off. That what happens is the Tru-Oil, this stuff right here, the Tru-Oil soaks into the cotton, right? Well, then it starts separating the cotton, because it's some pretty strong stuff, and then it starts shedding it. Well, then you're sitting there applying it, and it's just releasing it onto your guitar finish. So I had to stop using this, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. And then also the steel wool. That was a good plan. Now that did work out, using the 4/0 steel wool. That really helped a bunch. So anyway, that's how I had to get to this point. So what's the plan now? Well, obviously we want to get started on the back, but I think I would like to do the neck first. And the reason for that is every time I pick up this guitar, I'm picking it up, down here by the heel, or I'm picking it up by the neck, and you're grabbing the back of the neck and the heel. And so, because it doesn't have Tru-Oil on it, it's shedding that leather dye, and I'm getting it all over my hands. So I think I'd like to go ahead and do the neck, the back of the neck first. And so that's what I'm going to do next, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys and gals, I got my Tru-Oil ready, and I'm going to apply it this time with shop towels. And I just folded a shop towel and then taped the back end, similar to how I did the cotton before. But I tested this out on a scrap piece of lumber, and it works great. So we're going to give it a shot on this guitar neck. Now I did add some mineral spirits to the Tru-Oil as well to make it go on a little easier. So hopefully that'll help us out. So we'll start out with the brush down here on the heel, and then the rest of it I should be able to get with the shop towels. Maybe the sides of the headstock here I may have to get with a brush. I'm not sure yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? So let's get going. Alright guys and gals, that's the first coat. And man, let me tell you what, shop towels is the way to go. That thing, it works great. It goes on really even, and you don't have to fight it. It's great. So I finally found an applicator for this that actually works. That's awesome. Well, ladies and gents, I got another couple coats on the neck, and she looks fabulous. Look at that. Starting to get build up now, and she looks awesome. Look at that. Show you the other side here and the top. Well, we're getting there. I'm hoping 5 coats will do it, but I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there. But I thought I'd take a moment here and show you the progress, and also show you what I've learned on this project. So number 1, shop towels. Now you can get those at O'Reilly's, Walmart, Advance Auto. Not sponsored by any of them, but these things work great for an applicator for this Tru-Oil. And so what's great about it is it doesn't streak. It applies evenly. So you don't have to worry about errors, and having to come back and touch it up. Now number 2 is the mixture. It's important to add mineral spirits to Tru-Oil, I found. And the reason for that is it thins the Tru-Oil down. The Tru-Oil is real tacky and it wants to dry really fast. So if you make a mistake and you have to go back to an area, it's already tacky, and if you try to touch it up, it's just going to streak. So what's great about adding the mineral spirits is it doesn't dry as fast, and it's easier to apply. So all you got to do is add, you only want your mixture to be like 5% mineral spirits. So just add just a little bit of mineral spirits in your container, and then stir it up with a plastic knife. Gets good stirred up, and it helps immensely on this project. It has helped me immensely doing that alone. So that's my advice on that. And then the third thing I wanted to share is the sanding pad and the steel wool. Now the 3M sanding pad, it's a double aught steel wool, synthetic steel wool, and it's great for the first 2 coats. But I found that going to the 4-aught, on the 3rd coat and the rest of the way, that it works best. So I found that a combination of the both is the best way to go. So that's been my experience, and I'm really liking how she's turning out. So from here we're going to get more coats applied, and whenever I'm done I will come back to you and we'll take a gander at her. Well, I'm going to call her good, folks. That's 6 coats total, and she looks fantastic. You get a good look at that. So yeah, that is just something else right there. It's got a good bold rich color to it now, and I just love it. But yeah, 6 coats. So I took an extra coat than I thought I was going to take. But she's just beautiful. I love it. So the neck is completed. So let me get you an angle here. You can check it from the top view. Here. So I'm really happy with the results. Really, really happy. So there you go. Alright guys and gals, well, I just got out of Wally World and I just seen the most odd thing. Dr. Pepper Tic Tacs. I mean, I'll think of anything. That didn't even sound good, you know what I mean? So anyway, Mother's Day weekend is here. So we're gonna have to end this video here. But we got a lot accomplished. We got the deck done, we got the veneer top done, and it looks great. So I'm gonna visit with my mom this weekend, have some fun. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You deserve it, and I hope you have a great weekend. So next video, we're going to Tru-Oil the back of the guitar. We're going to do the sides as well. So look forward to that. We're also going to paint the electronics cavities, pickup cavities with shielding paint. And also we may get some hardware put on as well, so looking forward to that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, doesn't cost anything, really helps out the channel. And I'm looking forward to part 5. It's going to be fun. So I hope you enjoyed part 4, and watch the rest of the videos too. They're really been fun, and really glad to get this far with the project. So anyway, we'll see you in part 5.